Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel React to Next, and in today's video we will continue with the to-do list. Last time we have managed the to-do list with the help of state, but now we will add a local storage inside this because we were facing one problem, that is when we refresh the page we were losing all the data. So let me show you how we were facing the problem in this. So when we refresh, like if I added something here like the task 1, task 2 and task 3. So when we refresh the page, we will lose all the data. So for this, we will use a local storage. So here, after this, we can add one more thing, local storage dot set item, and here I will say to do list, and inside this I will pass the new updated array. Okay, so for this I will say new to do list, that is this one, and I will pass this back to the state, but also I will pass this to the local storage. Now when you will refresh this and you will open the application, you will see it here. Okay, let me check what is the correct URL of this. Okay, so this is the correct one or not. We have some error inside the console. The one is okay, there is some problem. Okay, this sign. Okay, now we can do one thing. Let's add the task 1, task 2 and task 3. Now open the application and check the local storage. Now what we have here is we only have a label here. Okay, so we should have a local storage here inside this one. So for this I will use set item, not get item. Okay, and then I will add the task 1 and save. Okay, now you can see we have the to-do list here, and here you can see we have the object. So for this what we will do, JSON dot stringify. So it will convert the array of object in a string. Okay, so now if I add something like task 1, and now you can see we have the string format here, and if you will scroll down you will see we have the task 1 inside this. It repeated 2 times because here we have the 2 at the same name. So if I add task 3 or 2, you can see we have the task 3 times. Okay, so let me clear this again, clear this and refresh the page, and properly add it like task 1, task 2 and task. Okay, so now if you will see we have the task, we have the unique IDs for this. So this is how we can add the local storage. Now everything is stored inside the local storage, but if you will refresh you will see the list is gone from here, but there's still the we can see the list is here in the local storage. So we have to fetch this from the local storage. For this what we will do here, we will use the use effect, and it will have the empty array, that is the empty dependency array. Now that means it will load only one time. If we have the dependency, then it will reload when the different dependency is changed. If we will remove this, then it will render on each change or each state change, like we can say it will render multiple time if we don't add this empty array. Okay, so we have to fetch the data from the local storage. So now I will use this get item to do list. We will remove this one here, and then we will store this inside the variable. Okay, so to do list local storage. Okay, so that's why I used here ls. Okay, now console this, so we can see what we have inside the local storage. Inside the console, you will see this is in a string format. So for this, we will use const to do list ls array. For this, I will use json dot parse, and then I will pass this to do list string data. Now, if we will console it, you will see okay, there is some error. To do list, there is some problem with the spelling of the const. Now you can see we have the array. So this format we need, that's why I consoled it, and I was showing this way, like it is a string. Now you can see the difference. The string is in the white color and the array is this way. It's showing the prototype is the array. Okay, so that we need the array here. Like what if we don't have anything, what it will return if we don't have anything? Let's clear this, clear the local storage and refresh the page. Now you can see it returning null. That means if we have something, like we have some value inside this, then only we will perform this operation, like we will convert the value, then response from the local storage to an array, and then we can pass it back to the state. Okay, set to do list, and then you will update it. Refresh the page and pass something task 1, task 2 and task 3, and refresh the page. Now you can see this is the persist, like it is not removing from the screen. Even after the multiple refresh, it is not removing from the screen. So this is something what we want to implement. So with the help of local storage, we can achieve this. Also we can add few more thing here, like we can also add the description, we can also add some other fields also here, right? Now what we can what other things we can do, we can add a delete button here to remove it from the local storage, and we can also add a edit button to edit the task. So let's do this inside the listing, and inside the list ally tag I will use a strong tag for the title and few more tags like button and all. Okay, so one button is for the delete and one button is for the edit. Okay, so now we have the two buttons. What I will do here, I will make it a flex gap 3 and align justify, and the same I will do with the ally flex justify between. Okay, now we will also add a gap 3. For the button we will add the design class bg blue or b padding 2 and text white border lg, or sorry, rounded, we will add the rounded lg, this one. From the top and bottom we can reduce the padding. So this is the edit button, and similarly we will have the delete button, but this time I will use the color red and it will look like this. So let me perform the operations on this. For deleting, this is simple, we will just use the id and will filter that from the array. So handle on delete, right? On delete, on click, we will use on delete, this one, and inside this we can pass the we can make it an arrow, and here we will pass this as the complete item. I will pass inside the delete function. So this is a arrow function here, and we will pass the item inside on delete, and then I will fetch it from the props. And second, I also need the one like that is the edit from the props to edit something. So for this edit I will also do the same on edit. Now I have to add two methods, on edit and all deletes, in the main component. So here on delete handle on delete, I have to create this method, and on edit handle on edit, I have to add these two methods here, const handle on delete, and similarly I have to add one more method, handle on edit. So for delete we have to filter the array. So from this filter, this state, I will filter all the things like on delete. I will have the item here, and then for the filtered array, what I will do, filter items, what I will do, that to list dot filter. So here inside this item, okay, so for this I will use the item list item or the task. Okay, task, and then task dot id is equals to item dot id. If not equals to this, then it will filter all this. Okay, so this is the updated list, and now I have to pass this back to the state as well as the local storage. So here I will use this one again, and here I will copy paste, and that should work. Let's try the list delete. Okay, now you can see the delete is working. Task 1, task 2, task 3, and let me remove the 2. And now you can see the task 2 is deleted and it is working properly. Now we have to perform the edit. In the edit we also have the input here, the argument here, like that is the item. Item is what that we are passing from the to-do list, this one. So we are getting it inside this function because we are passing the same things here, so we will get it here. So this is the same what we have did instead delete. And now we will set the task, this task also. So when we have this item, we will set the task, set task this. And also we have to manage a state somewhere, like this is the edit task, right? For this I will use one more state here, new edit task, set edit task. So initially it is false, but if somebody editing something, then I will say true. And once the edit state is true, if this is the true, then handle on submit. During the submit I will check it, like if this is true, and then if the edit is submitted, then I will set it back to the false. Okay, if this is true, then I will set it false, like the edit will be false. And it will also clear the state, the task state. Okay, so this is already clearing, so I don't have to repeat this. Only thing I have to do is I have to just reset the thing, like set edit task false. Okay, so now if the edit is finished, it will update it. And also we have to manage one more thing here, like we have to update the local storage. So this is going to be a new, like we have to modify the object inside the array. So for that we can get the index of the array. Okay, let me do this. Const this, and initially I am assuming that this is the empty, and now from the list I have to find out it, like I have to get the index of it. So for this, index of edit, what it will be, find, or find this. Okay, and this dot find task, task dot id is equals to edit task at, oh sorry, task dot id. Okay, so this is the task, this is the task. Okay, let me make it item dot id is equals to task dot id. So this is the item from this one, and the task is from the state. So it will check the id, so what is active one, and then I will use it. Let me check in the console. So what is it is returning, we have to get the index instead of anything else. So if it is returning the, okay, now if I click on the edit, we have some error. What is this? The list is key, this is not the same, and this is for the list. There is nothing about this one because we have to submit. Okay, if I click on edit, you can see this is editing up, showing this here. If I click on the edit one, this is again showing the one. Okay, because we did not change anything, then there is no issue. If we change something, then we have the issue. If I check this, like I click on the edit and then I click on the save button, now you can see it raised everything, like it is wrong because we passed the empty array inside this, but we have the object, this one. So this is not something we have to find index of, find index, we need this one. Let me search about it, find index. Okay, prototype dot find index, right, this is the correct one I think. Okay, so let me do this again, refresh it, task 1, task 2, and then I find it. Okay, here I click on the edit and then I click. Okay, 0 and 1, this is the correct ID. Okay, so now what I will do, I will replace that, like I have to create a clone of it, this dot slice, so it will create a shallow copy of it, and then it's a shallow copy. With the slash we can create a shallow copy. If you want to make the deep copy, then you have to use like json.stringify and json.parse, and then it will create the deep copy. Okay, so here I will create the shallow copy, and then on the index, so this is the index, so in this index, I will replace the object. Okay, so inside the object, this one, I will add the title. Okay, I think the title is the updated title, so there is nothing what we have to do, we just have to use the task here, and then the filter item is here. Okay, so this is something what we have to do, we will, and the last we can do this thing, like we can set the edit false. Okay, so what we are doing here is we are making a shallow copy, then we are finding the index of the object, or we can say the item, or we can say the task. and then we are replacing it, replacing the item, replacing the item, and then we are updating this inside the state and the local storage. Okay, and in the end we are updating the edit state. Okay, this is something we are doing here when we are editing a task. So here task 1, task 2, and I am updating the task 2. So this should be updated, and then click on the save. Now you can see the task is updated. So this is how we can perform the operations on the data, and you can see in the local storage everything is updating here from this. Even if you refresh the page, you will see the data is here. So you can manage your Todo task with this like with the local storage. So whenever you want to do some task, you can just add it here, and whenever the task is done, you can update the status as well. So we can add one more field here that will say, okay, so it will say like update done, or we can say completed, mark as completed. Okay, so here we will have one more field, mark as completed. Okay, so it will mark this as completed on complete. So this is something what I am going to use here is on complete. Similarly we will use it here on complete, and then I will pass it here. So here we will create one more function similar to the added one, this handle on complete, and here I will pass this. Now you will have the item, and you also have to repeat this logic inside that. Okay, so now the task is the item. Okay, this is what we have to remember here. Here we are using the task. So the task is this time, the task is this, and the item is from this list is okay. Task is now okay, and here we are updating the status, this, and the status completed. Okay, and it will update this, and we are not managing any edit state for this. Now it should update in the local storage. And how we will verify it? For this we have to show the state in the task as well. Like we can show this here, item dot status, or we can say status. Now mark as completed, and this is the to do, and the task is completed or not. This is what okay. Okay, so here we also have to add one thing, status. Initially the status will be to do. Okay, so let's delete all the things and then start from a new task, task 1, task 2. Okay, so here we have the status to do, and we can move this in the beginning so it will not confuse us, like id, then the title and the to do. Delete this, refresh, and add the new task, task 1 to do. So here in the list we can start it from the new line. Okay, or just keep it in the same line, but make sure you highlight it properly. You can just keep it in the you can use the status here. So now you can see the status showing to do. You can do one thing. Instead of this, you can add one more div here, and below this you can show the status, and above this you can show the title. Okay, we are this, break the lines, and here you can use the em to do this is a status, and you can add some classes like border px2 and pg blue light and rounded. And now this is the status, like if the task is marked as completed, if you mark that as completed, then it will update the status of the task. So now if you click on the complete, it will update the status to the completed, and it will update here on the list. So then we have to fetch the list, because that we were doing here, like we are fetching the list again. So that case we also have to fetch the list again. Or we can just do one thing, like we can update the list. Okay, it should work. I think there is some error. Let's see the error. On complete, not defined. Okay, on complete, there is some error. Okay, here I forgot to add this inside the. Okay, now if I click on it, it's still showing on complete, not defined. On complete, on complete. In the list, this is something here I was doing a mistake. Okay, now if I click on it, now you can see the task is completed. So this is something what I want to implement. By mistakenly I added this inside the form, but it should be added inside the this one. For the clarity, you can do one thing. You can just keep this in the different one line space, and also you can manage this way. This one, this one, and this one, and then you can start this from the new line. Here I also you can manage all the profs this way, so it will not make any confusion. Okay, so this is how you can manage the thing. Now if you won't confusion anything. Okay, so if I add in another task 2, and then I mark this as completed, it will some update the status also. So now we have completed a basic to-do list. If you have any question or a query or the suggestion, then let me know in the comment. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.